Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinephilia. I think our audio was on during the intro. I don't know. You guys tell me.
Could you hear our little chit chat? Blasphemous chit chat.
Welcome. It's Sunday. It's Cinephilia. So today we're going to be chatting about some of the anticipated films of 2022, like the title says, and what we think and what's. I'm still a little weird about this because there's so much still in flux, but
yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out what to be excited about because who knows what's going to come out, what's going to get delayed. We're still in this phase of the pandemic where it's like everything's still up in the air.
Yep.
So.
But like always, let's start off with some news.
Ooh.
So do you have anything? What do you got?
Twitter's been going crazy with the rumors of John Krasinski as Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness. I mean, strong rumors, still rumors. Nothing's confirmed, but everyone's going crazy about the idea of him playing Reed Richards in at least some multiverse, even if it's not in our, MCU verse, but still obviously part of the MCU. So even if he appears, but he's not like the Reed Richards we get down the line, it's possible. But
I like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you never know. What?
You don't seem too excited about it.
I think he's good casting. I can see him in the role. I think there are other people I would prefer, but if they're doing a multiverse thing, then they can really do anything.
I don't need him to do a full movie. I just want to see him and Emily Blunt as the two Richards. And then it could be for 10 minutes, and then I'd be good. Yeah. I just want to see it happen.
That could be like a cute little Easter egg, tongue-in-cheek cameo kind of thing. I
saw somebody, I think it was on TikTok, saying that would be cool is if, during the multiverse, whatever multiverse happens, that Chris Evans walks in, and we think it's Cap, but he yells "Flame on" and he turns into the Human Torch.
That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be kind of cool. They could do anything. There's all kinds of weird stuff they could do.
After what they've done already in Spider-Man, they really can just pull whatever content they want from wherever and make it work.
So it looks like the first photo of Leslie Grace's Batgirl was released.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Some people were very unhappy with it.
How come?
I don't know, because people are never happy with anything. I'm trying to bring it up. People are always unhappy. I saw some girls say, I've already felt about when, when guys saw the picture of the Joker and they hated him. This is my Joker, and she was all upset about it. And I was like, she looks good. She looks like the comic book, that one version of the comic book.
And also very strongly influenced by Yvonne Craig's Batgirl too.
Yeah, so here she is. That's just cool.
It's fine. I don't have anything to complain about. It doesn't excite me, but I also don't have anything to complain about.
That's fine. That's just one picture. We don't know anything.
Exactly. You haven't seen it in motion or anything. If you want to talk about a bad costume,
yes.
Did you see the image of Moon Knight that?
Oh yeah.
That costume doesn't look great.
I'm hoping it looks like. It looks Power Ranger-y. The Power Rangers had that plastic look. I'm not excited. I hope the show is good, but I'm not terribly excited about his costume.
Yeah. I don't know the character that well, but as far as I remember, it's a pretty interesting character. They've got a great actor playing him. It would just suck for them to...
Yeah, I mean...
To not go with the...
I'm trying to bring it up, but he looks very, very... It's a weird choice, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I saw someone online say it looks more like a cosplay than...
It does. It looks...
Yeah. And who knows? We don't know the context of the image that was released. Maybe it is some sort of red herring.
It could be. Yeah. Well, we're supposed to get a trailer Monday. Trailer for it is coming on Monday.
Lots of trailers happening right now.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Other news. Black Panther has continued going back to filming. They had stopped because Letitia Wright had gotten hurt. And then there was the whole thing about her maybe an anti-vaxxer and whether she's going to come back. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But I guess I think this is confirmed that I forget his name. The guy who plays M'Baku.
Winston Duke.
Winston Duke. That he has expanded his role and is getting a big pay raise.
That's definitely been confirmed. He I guess, negotiated a really big pay raise because he is going to be in the movie a lot more. Mm-hmm. I actually retweeted something about that and was like, as he should. If he's going to be in the movie more, he should be getting paid more.
But now there's like crazy speculations about why that is. And is he going to become Black Panther instead of her?
Who knows?
No, we don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Too early to say.
But yeah, it's good to let's go back to filming because it's been down for a bit.
Yeah.
And obviously COVID made it worse. Is there an Anchorman 3 announced? If not, why the popcorn? Because he's the news guy.
He's always there on the news.
Whenever I don't have extra, I think he's the news. That's why he's there. He's the news reporter of the movies. That's why I was lazy. I don't know.
He's the very first popcorn bucket that I ever did. So he just sticks around.
I had a couple other things. Let me scroll. Godfather's getting a 4K DVD release, which is kind of nice, and it says he's gonna come back to the to theaters for a little bit as a 4K release in late March.
Do you enjoy the whole trilogy, or do you only like parts of it?
I have not seen them in so long that in my head they're just the one big movie.
Yeah.
I have to go back and sit and watch them.
Yeah,
it's been so long.
I enjoy all three of them as a trilogy, and I know that a lot of people like the first two. A lot of people like the third one more. It's kind of all over the place how people fall with them, but I think the whole trilogy, all three of them, is a full story. Mm-hmm. It's a nice arc.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I had for news this week. I don't have a lot.
Yeah, I don't really.
No? Do you want to go on to trailers?
Anything.
Let's go on to trailers. I realized the way I have my setup, I can't look. How do you 4K a film that wasn't filmed in 4K? It was filmed on film, and then you scan that at a high resolution. Film is like entirely... You can scan it at 8K. You can scan it at high resolution. So basically, they're going back to the prints that they had, scanning that as a 4K image.
So 4K is just like the digital transfer. Like those are digital terms. So when you take something that was pre-digital, it can be, as long as you have the source, it can be beautifully mastered to whatever.
You can make a huge print out of those 35 millimeter prints. It's like what you print a big photo out of. So they have plenty of resolution to scan that at 4K. They probably scanned it at 8K and then reduced it to 4K for the release.
Yeah. Because we haven't gotten 8K TVs yet.
Oh, they have access to the original negatives? Probably, or at least to a work print. I don't know. Sometimes it'll be different what they have access to. If they have access to like original, they'll go back to that, but they'll go back as far as they can. And sometimes it'll be from like a work print. Like a lot of the like transfers that have happened in the past are kind of transfers are happening. They happen from a work print or from something they had that wasn't maybe as far back as a negative.
I feel like, I don't know for sure, but I feel like Godfather is one of those big classic movies that those original negatives are probably pristine somewhere.
Reed says he thought they lost the source. I mean, even if they did, if they have some kind of nice print out there, they might have gotten it from that, and then they'll go clean that up.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good... I will look into that, because that's a good question, because those transfers are, like, always questionable. Cool. So, let's move on to trailers.
Ooh.
First trailer I got... We have 3 trailers. This one's called Kimmy. And it's for HBO Max. It's a Steven Soderbergh movie starring Zoe Kravitz. Boop, boop.
Kimmy?
I'm here.
What time is it?
It's 7:26 a.m.
Kimmy?
I'm here.
Call Dr. Burns.
I got her.
Kimmy?
I'm here.
Why don't you
Reed says, hopefully WB won't cancel stream.
Hey, hotness!
Oh, is this WB?
Wow.
Oh, let's talk over it. Blah, blah, blah. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
no,
maybe.
it's not. I don't think it's WB. It's just HBO.
Kimmy?
I'm here.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Reopen last stream on desktop.
You guys let us know.
I mean, HBO...
Open yesterday's stream.
Is HBO owned by WB now?
I don't know. I think they just have a deal.
stream interpreter. I may have heard a crime on one of the streams.
The devices pick up lots of things.
I like that.
Mark this degraded audio and delete it.
Getting some attention these days because she's been around for a while, but she's always been kind of in the background of stuff.
She's always like a secondary character on a bunch of things.
But now, you know, between this and
This is the last favor,
Catwoman,
Clutches.
yeah. Stepping out into the
Close your
limelight.
files, come to my office. We'll listen to the recordings together. Miss Childs, I have to know what we're dealing with.
We're dealing with what sounds like a premeditated murder.
This looks interesting.
How do I
Says
know
Reed,
that?
and I agree.
Because I just told you. Twice now.
Maybe you've just replaced your real stresses with this.
Can we please call the FBI?
I understand that you have taken some mental health leave in the past.
Why is that in my file?
You said you had it. They did. But now they don't.
Kimmy, bedtime lights.
Is this the only copy?
I emailed it to everyone I know this morning. Kimmy!
I'm here.
Music by Cliff Martinez. I like him.
Yeah. That looks interesting.
Yeah. Definitely watch, especially on HBO. But I mean, I do like that stuff is still coming to streaming. I like seeing stuff on a big screen, but I think with what's still going on, that it's smart for things to still go to streaming, so that more people can have access to them without endangering themselves.
It does feel like some of these smaller movies, if they end up going straight to theaters, nobody's going to watch them.
Right.
Because I feel like most people are going to see the big stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows like the record that Spider-Man made when it came out compared to every other movie that came out, you know, in the last year. The smaller movies get lost, which is unfortunate, because a lot of those smaller movies need to be seen. That's what I want to champion more of.
Yeah, agreed. Our next trailer is a movie called Lunana, which Reed put it in, recommended on the Discord. And I had the...
See, we do listen, Reed.
We do listen. And I lost the description. I had it here and it went away.
The trailer will be a
It's about a
description
teacher
of-
that gets sent somewhere. There it is. A disillusioned school teacher is transferred to the most remote school in the world, cut off from the modern life deep in the Himalayan glaciers, in a classroom with no electricity or even a blackboard. He finds himself with only a yak and a song that echoes through the mountains. This is Lulana.
Is that song Yakety Yak?
Yeah, that's the theme song. Big opening scene, dance on there. Oh.
Lunana gi lobda di nga chi gi khab gi madowa zamlin gi khab sugi lobda sugi tele thazugi lobda chi chigi nga chi shiri hanka da chi
I know, I just realized that.
te ya lunana le lebe chi go be nga chi nan hanka na le yigo chi lide
Just get it from context.
dewa chi gi luji mama ma besina chara ya su shi
Okay, so he doesn't want to go.
Alhamdulillah kayo po. Jamla lebe. Chile lebe gila mazuro to besnong na.
Machi Lunanagi, Mrs. Soda, Marakatule, Lebe Chemalesuyla. Lebe Josugizim Chidina email. Lebe Chapsadi, Hachikayu. Machi Lobra de Dila.
Manakadibi pechitena mashi.
British Cooper says he's worried that subtitles are going to be missing nuances. Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, that's
That's unfortunate. This is unfortunate.
Manakadibi pechitena mashi. Ama juni aja.
Chile Tindibe, Machi Alus.
British Cooper said, I said it was subtitle art, so you have to listen. It's true.
Good morning, Mobu.
Yachiki Kyomanimila. Yagi, Machi Lunanalo. I mean, it's me Pendola.
I mean, even without reading the subtitles, I want to see this movie.
Yeah, this is one of those, he went to change their lives, but they changed his instead.
With a yak.
With a yak.
I love this yak.
Intinimi, Machiri Jakab, Mount Pai.
Barbara Raleigh says, oh, this looks lovely. It does.
Lunana, a yak in the classroom. I kind of love it.
I did too. That was really cute. I like it. This other movie, this is from Netflix, also recommended by Reed H. Cooper. So if you guys hate it, let Reed H. Cooper know.
Reed.
This is a movie called In From the Cold. It's going on Netflix. Exposed as an ex-Russian spy, an American single mom must juggle family life and unique shape-shifting skills in a battle against an insidious enemy. Dun, dun, dun.
Come on, baby, we're here.
Mom, cut it with the baby stuff. This is just a phase, right?
It better be.
She looks like Pam from The Office.
Someone help me!
Oh, it's her Pam costume.
They called her the Whisper. 5 confirmed kills, all powerful people. But before we could put it all together, the Whisper was gone. Isn't that right, Anya Petrova, a.k.a. the Whisper?
No, you have to listen to me. I'm not who he says I am.
Welcome back, Anya. Somebody out there is copying your old Whisper MO. The CIA wants to know who that somebody is.
And if I refuse?
You'll be spending the rest of your life in a maximum security prison.
I do not like you.
Yeah, I get that a lot. All 3 victims here have a connection.
Jenny, I'm reading hostiles right in front of you.
I cannot believe I have to do this.
You're the only human subject to ever survive what the Russians called the Yaroslav program.
Becca told Maddie you keep disappearing and not coming home.
What is the big secret? You act like you're some kind of secret spy or something. It's not what it looks like.
Felipe Calero.
And Sara.
He's manipulating a right-wing nationalist group into perpetrating an act of terrorism.
Viva España!
Is your past coming back to haunt you?
You really don't know when to quit, do you?
You expect me to risk my life and my family for your personal vendetta. Becca. When this is all over, do I get to go back to my real life?
I don't know.
It kind of looks like it should be a show. Like, I feel like there's a lot to it.
Maybe it's a longer movie.
Don't patronize me, Will. Cool. 2 more.
2 more.
Next one is Big Bug, which is Jean-Pierre Jeunet. He's the Lost City of Children Anomaly director. Trailers. Pause. Nope.
Also
Tu sais, les gens, quand 52 000, il y aura des voitures volantes.
Ah, subtitles.
Il aura juste fallu attendre 40-50 de plus.
On les a créés, Unix, qui nous facilite la vie.
Parce que, contrairement à l'ouvrier humain, le Unix n'a ni besoin de manger, ni de boire.
La vie conviviale va être courte.
You know what this reminds me
Profitons
of?
de chaque instant.
Expanse 3000.
No. This actually reminds me of
Ça va, Françoise?
On ne connaît pas Jennifer?
Les Unix sont là au service de la sécurité de la population.
Je crois qu'il est en train de se passer quelque chose.
Nestor, ouverture porte.
Désolé, demande refusée.
He likes this, like, she's shooting everything in
Ça
wide
se trouve,
angle.
tout le monde est pris en otage.
You can see, like, just even when it's close up.
Les citoyens n'ont pas à s'inquiéter. Vous constaterez l'efficacité de nos services.
Qu'est-ce qui lui prend? Il disjoncte complètement, là.
On va bien s'amuser ensemble.
Ce qui se passe entre nous,
Pour une
Initialisation, tapez 1. Pour une réclamation, tapez 2.
Comment ça? Faut se calmer! Ma petite Jennifer!
Ils sont là pour prendre notre place, ils n'auront aucun scrupule.
Non, mais il faut vraiment qu'on parte d'ici le plus vite possible. On est d'accord, Françoise?
L'humain est devenu facultatif.
Nous sommes des humains bouillonnant d'émotions et de sensualité. L'humain sera jamais facultatif. Parce que nous, on est originaux! Et qu'on est plein de défenses!
On n'a rien à perdre.
This is a...
Tu sais comme je fume sous le soleil de ton regard.
C'est juste un godemiché bourré d'électronique.
This is a strange movie to get a feel for because it feels purposefully very synthetic, and so I can't gauge how invested I will be in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting. Like I'm going to watch it because I like that director anyway. I'm just interested to see where it goes.
Feels like you should kind of watch this with the true motion stuff turned on, the 240 hertz on. You should try that. And also, Rage says, have you seen Peacemaker yet?
I have not watched Peacemaker yet. I've been hearing so many good things about it. Like, people are raving about that show, but I haven't watched it. Haven't had time to yet.
Yeah, me neither. And the last trailer, which is X.
Oh, this one I'm excited for. This is actually on my list of movies I'm excited for in the new year.
You want to tell me a little bit about what it is?
I actually don't know much about it. I know that it has a good cast. It has T. West is directing. It's an A24 movie. T. West is directing, and he's like this horror director that kind of came up as... we've talked about like Eli Roth on this show before. I feel like T. West and Eli Roth kind of came up around the same time, but T. West is the better filmmaker. So I really want to see what he does with an A24 budget. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah, it says at a secluded farmhouse in Texas, a film crew arrives to shoot an adult film. Their host, a reclusive elderly couple, takes their special interest in their young guests. And then there's more. I'm just gonna play it.
Farmer's daughter, take one. I need to be famous, Wayne. All the best people are.
There ain't nobody else out there like you. You know why?
Why?
Because you got that X Factor. Our days of struggling may soon be over.
Hollywood, here we come.
So this is it. Our own studio backlot.
I'm looking for a place to stay.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's one ugly son of a bitch.
And my wife, Pearl, is next door, so I would appreciate a little discretion.
He don't know what we're doing, does he?
Hereditary is the go-to
forgiveness and ask for permission.
Would you like to come inside?
Much obliged.
I want to be in the movie.
Well, you can't. The story can't just change midway through.
If Daddy catches us, there's no telling what he might do.
My wife is not well.
Yeah, it is a poor documentary.
That's why it's called X.
Maxine?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave, do you?
People's eyes are gonna pop out of their damn skulls when they see this. What? Are you all right?
No.
That's who that is, Brittany Snow. I was like, I know her face. Is that Luke Wilson? I missed it.
One of the boys found this inside.
What do you think is on it?
I see one goddamn fucked up horror picture.
Coming soon. This looks like it's going to theaters.
Yeah, Kid Cudi is also in it, who I like a lot. That was our last trailer, right? So we can go right into our movies that we're excited about in 2022, and I'll start with this one. Like, I guess I'm really excited for this. Like I said, is getting to see what T. West does with a big A24 budget, because his movies are usually lower budget, kind of like horror that he's built up from the ground. which is great to see. And I've been a fan of his movies because his horror seemed to be very much character-driven, like everything serves a purpose as opposed to just being like lots of jump scares and stupid stuff for no reason. He previously directed a movie called The Innkeepers, as well as House of the Devil, both of which I liked a lot. He's done a lot of other stuff, The Sacrament, The Roost, if you really want to get to his like kind of gonzo gorilla origins. And he was also part of those ABC's of Death trilogies and VHS trilogies. So he's got a lot under his belt, but it'll be cool to finally see him do like something bigger budget. So that's why I'm excited for X.
Yeah, I had not heard about it till we just saw the trailer.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of into it.
The poster is really cool. Have you seen this poster?
Oh, cool.
You guys can look the poster up. So, talking about movies that we're excited for in 2022, what are you excited for?
You know, I was talking about this. I feel like I haven't heard too much of the smaller movies. Obviously, we'll go through them, but some like the bigger movies like Batman, all the comic book movies.
Do you want to just go through the comic book movies?
Let's go through the comic.
There's a lot of comic book movies happening.
It's going to be this year's going to be.
Let's get those out of the way.
I'm really excited for Batman. I actually really am hoping that it looks cool. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I like how it looks. I feel like Batman has had a hard time kind of stepping out or trying to match what Christopher Nolan did, that kind of like gritty that worked. And I think they're trying to do it with this one, and I hope they actually... I feel like this is like grittiness, but with the more comic booky like situations. And so I'm hoping that it'll be like that. I hope it'll be good. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, by the way, we're not doing this list in any sort of order.
No, we're just gonna talk.
We're just talking. I feel like I'm also excited for this movie. I know that I find it upsetting that DC crutches on Batman so much. So I get like the wariness of like another Batman movie, but what I do like about this is that it does feel very different from what we've gotten before. I can see how they're trying to include that grittiness that Nolan solidified, but I really like that they went a whole different way with the casting of this movie. Like no one was expecting Robert Pattinson as Batman, and I feel like he's going to do a good job.
So.
But I also like that this movie is supposed to be not an origin story, but it's supposed to take place during like year 2 for Batman.
Yeah, beginning of him.
So it's still really early on, and I think that that's a version of Batman that we haven't really seen in the movies. We always get a Batman that's established already.
Or goes from like not being Batman to I'm Batman, and like that's it. I'm full of Batman. There's no like working his way through, which we always just get right into it.
Yeah. So I like that we're going to get like some early Batman stuff where it's like maybe he's not the best yet, and also that this is supposed to be, it's being touted as being like a film noir movie, so it's got more of a detective story. It kind of focuses on him being a detective, and
because we never get that.
And we got to look at Riddler. Was it last week or this week?
This last week.
What he looks like in this movie, and he's kind of going with a Zodiac killer style version of Riddler, which is something we've never seen for that character before. So I do feel like there will be some freshness to this that we haven't gotten from Batman stuff before that makes me not as worried about getting more Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, like I said earlier, Zoe Kravitz is playing Catwoman. I love that DC has gone full force with just letting Catwoman be a black character. There's the Riddler outfit, which is very different from how we're used to seeing Riddler. But I love this transition that Catwoman has gone through from, her origins back in the 40s in the comics to then having Eartha Kitt step in and then having her be black in one of the animated shows, and now she's black in another movie, and I'm for Black Catwoman. I love it. So I am excited for Batman. I have to agree.
Yeah, but you're right. I do like it's they crutch on Batman, and like we've seen a bunch of Batman, and I like him. But I hope that they continue to push forward and like they're doing with The Flash, which is the next one we can talk about.
Yeah.
The Flash, where they're trying to like push that guy forward and doing more things with him, and hopefully, this one's the movie that is like, if they do it right, it's going to be super cool.
If they do it right.
But I'm not like 100% faithful in it. Although I have seen them. It looks like somebody above is trying to course correct all the terribleness they're doing, and they're actively trying to make things better. So I'm hoping this is like step one of like, we know we messed up, we know we made crap.
Yeah.
Let's try to make something cool. But I don't know.
Between the first two movies that are being mentioned here, we're getting 3 versions of Batman.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I like Ezra Miller as Flash. I like his version of Flash.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sold on.
And the director
what this movie is actually going to do.
This is the guy who directed It, to the 2 latest It movies,
which I liked.
And he also directed Mama, which I really liked.
Yeah.
So, and he directed Robotech. A feature film based on I guess I have to look this up. But he doesn't have a long list of things he's worked on, by the way.
So his movies have been more horror genre. I mean, the It movies definitely have their poppiness, kind of a pop feel to them. So I can see that segue to doing a superhero movie. But I'm curious if his history in horror is going to come over into Flash a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah.
That might be kind of cool.
We'll see how it happens. Flash there could be a lot of body horror stuff with that character, especially if he's going in and out of universes, like how that is portrayed, how that's going to come across. So yeah, we'll see.
So I'm gonna go back to Batman for real quick. I'm really excited to see Jeffrey Wright play Gordon.
Oh yeah,
that I really like him, so I'm excited to see him.
That whole cast really is well done, except for. I'm still not sold on Colin Farrell as Penguin. Not from an acting standpoint. I think he can do it, but it's just becoming weirder and weirder when you just hire someone and cover them in makeup when you could just hire someone that looks like that to begin with.
Yeah.
And
how penguin-y is he going to be? Because right now he just looks like an angry man.
They released a picture of him along with that Riddler picture, and it's just like him sitting in a chair like a mob boss, which is, that's what Penguin's been up to in the comics, so I get that they're going that route, but it doesn't seem very...
he could just be a bad guy.
Right. It doesn't seem like you need to cover him in makeup for that. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe he's going to get more penguin-y towards the end of the movie. Maybe it's like a thing.
It's not like a Danny DeVito thing where he was literally part of a penguin.
I don't know. And to add that to I think this is the only other DC movie, because I haven't paid attention, is Black Adam.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of interested. I like The Rock a lot, so this will be kind of cool. I did enjoy
Shazam.
I thought that was kind of like their way of like, we don't have to always be super serious. We can do something that's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that Black Adam
which is going to be next? Great. Is it Black Adam or the next Shazam?
I think it's Black Adam and then Shazam.
Okay. And I know The Rock has been really pushing for this one. He helped produce Shazam just so that they could lead to Black Adam, so he could do this movie. So yeah, I do think that's good casting. I can see him in the role. Just not sure what to think of that movie yet. I do also like Aldous Hodge, who's going to be playing Hawkman in that movie.
Mm-hmm. So I like the fact that Hawkman's in the movie.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's one more DC. What's the?
There's also
not the dog one.
The Batgirl movie that's happening.
That was the TV show. They're doing a Batgirl. Oh, that's right.
There's a TV show
and a movie. 2 different Batgirls.
Right. Because the Batgirl movie is also going to have Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
That's right, but that's not 2022.
That's later. Oh yeah, League of Super Pets, which is the animated movie based on. So when I first saw the poster for League of Super Pets, I was actually kind of excited because they don't play around with those animal characters that much anymore, and there's a lot of them to choose from in the DC comics. So the poster had like Crypto, Superman's dog, as well as Ace, the Bat Hound, next to each other. So I was like, oh, who else is going to be in this like league? I'm excited because there's so many other characters they could pick. And then as I learned more and more about this movie, they kind of just made up more characters for the movie.
Ones,
They're not picking other characters from, like, I don't think Streaky the cat is in it. I don't think Isis, Catwoman's cat, is in it. Like, none of Harley's hyenas. Like, there's so many characters you could do. But
it feels like it's very much a kids movie aimed at children, and they could have done something cool where they could have done a movie that was child friendly and kids would have gone to see, but also satisfied fans who knew the characters, and they could have done something cool. But it feels very generic.
It feels more like they put a DC overlay on a Life of Pets movie.
Yes,
that's exactly what it feels like.
So yeah, not terribly excited about that. It might be cute. I mean, a bunch of those kids movies, you scoff at them and you watch them and like, oh, they're kind of cute because they.
See, Reed says, true, no Beppo is ugh.
Cool. You want to jump on something?
I mean, as long as we're talking about comic book movies.
That's good. Yeah, let's go.
There's also Aquaman.
Oh, is
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Oh, is that next year too?
That's 2022.
Oh, because they just finished.
Year. That's this
year. They
year.
just finished filming, so I thought that it wasn't coming out 20. So it's at the end of the year, I'm guessing.
I assume. That's another thing about like putting this list together of movies that I'm excited for. First of all, most of these movies that we mentioned so far were not on my list, but still worth talking about. But it's hard to like narrow down a list of what you're excited for when you're not sure what's going to come out and when it's going to come out. So we're kind of just talking about things that are happening in the future, possibly this year.
I don't care about Aquaman. Yeah, I like Jason Momoa and I like him in Aquaman, but I didn't watch the other movie. I didn't feel like I wanted to watch a whole movie of him.
You've not seen
I know. I liked him in Justice League, but I didn't feel like I needed to see a whole movie about him.
It's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
It's because he's playing Surfer Dude, Aquaman, which is fine if that's going to be your version of Aquaman. Everybody else in the movie is playing it more Shakespearean. Everyone else takes it far more seriously. And I guess that helps to create a kind of culture shock for him because he is a character that is caught between two worlds and like kind of feels out of place. So maybe that works in that instance, but watching it is just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
It was nothing special about it. So on the Marvel side, there's a lot of stuff coming
I think I'm excited for everything Marvel's coming out.
Of course you are.
Well, of course you are, because you're easy to please.
No, but I mean, like, the Marvel stuff tends to be a lot better than the DC stuff also. So, of the Marvel stuff, what are you the most excited about?
Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
I think it's the one I'm excited the most about.
Yeah, I would agree, because that's not even an MCU.
Or will it?
You never know. I don't know. It could be. So I just read something interesting that made me even more excited about this movie.
Yeah.
So you know how like the premise of this is that like the title is Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, which means there's already going to be more. So these characters are now like jumping universes and going to different universes and this and that. I just read one of the creators of the movie blatantly talk about how every universe that they go to in this movie has a different animation style.
That's right.
And I am so excited for that.
So instead of bringing characters into this universe all with different styles, they're doing the opposite and going to different places with different styles.
I'm highly excited to see that actually play out in a movie. Like just almost like watching, I love anthology movies, and it's almost like watching an anthology movie where you get like shorts put together that are different but thematically the same. I'm just so excited to see like how different worlds are interpreted in different ways and different animation styles and different designs, and I already know I'm going to cream myself. This is going to be the comic book movie of the year for me.
You should watch it at home then, if that's going to be. You don't want to get kicked out of the
movie. I'll clean up after myself. It's fine. But also, as far as MCU stuff, if it comes out, I can't remember if it's been pushed back or not. Is Wakanda Forever coming out in 2022, or has it been pushed back?
I don't think they've. Now I'm not sure
because I am excited about that. but I can't keep track of when stuff is coming out. But I'm curious how they will.
It's November. It's still listed as November 11th, 2022.
Okay.
But that still might change. We might get into the summer. They'd be like, just kidding. It's February. I'm
interested to see how they continue that specific Black Panther story without Chadwick Boseman.
Because now when Chadwick Boseman died, it was like, do not recast him. He's forever perfect. Now it's like starting to switch. People are like, wait a minute. The character itself is important. So do we want to recast him because they want to keep T'Challa alive? And so now there's a bunch of other people who are going, no, do recast him because we want him, and we love Chadwick Boseman, but Chadwick Boseman would probably also want him to keep going and not just die with him. So now I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Which is interesting because it's kind of cool going in and knowing nothing about this movie and not knowing what's going to happen in this world.
Yeah. So I think of the MCU movies, that's the one I'm most excited for. But then we also have Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, which
that's the next one, right?
That's the next one. That's going to be the next big one to come out. And I don't know what to think of it. Like I've been waiting for some multiverse goodness for so long, and Spider-Man was kind of that.
But then they closed everything back up and wrapped it up.
Every time they do something, they do that. So it's kind of like, how many times can you do that before I'm just like not going to trust you?
Yeah, now I don't care about the multiverse.
But I'm interested to see. I've read some things about it that, of course, are rumors. But I've read some story elements that could be like how it focuses on Wanda having to fight like an evil version of herself from another universe, and then like the idea of Doctor Strange fighting an evil version of himself, like in What If, and I'm just not sure.
Zombie Wanda would be great.
Zombie Wanda would be great, but I feel like that's not the version we're gonna get.
I'm really hoping that this is like that movie becomes the opening to this phase that we sort of started, but like. Yeah. Open the world and be like, this is what we're dealing with for a while. The multiverse issues, and that becomes the next phase of the MCU, and that introduces a bunch of, because that's how they don't have to make excuses for introducing the X-Men and all these other characters they've sort of not known how to, they haven't put in. They can just be like, there you go, they showed up, and there's no need to explain.
I want them to just kick the door open though, like just.
Yeah, commit to it.
Open. Commit to it.
At the end of that movie, leave it open so that next movie gets affected by it, and we just continue to like down,
Just give me, what will make me happy with this next phase? Give me 1 million Jonathan Majors as Kang all over the place, because that's how he was. That's how that character is in the comics, and I love that actor. So that's how you win me over for the next phase of MCU.
And then we have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
Which I think is gonna be fine. I think I'm gonna like it. I think it's gonna be cool.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. Okay. I like Taika's take on Thor and how he made it fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm also interested in seeing really buff Natalie Portman.
Yes.
I think she looks awesome.
Yes.
So I want to see that.
There's one picture that from set of her. She looks. I was like, Jesus Christ, you're a tiny woman. How are you this huge?
And also what they're gonna do next with Valkyrie. So
and any other characters that we don't know they haven't introduced yet, because this might be a good place for them to introduce other stuff.
Yeah, because last time we saw Thor, he was with Guardians, so there might be some Guardians.
Well, the Guardians are supposed to be on here too. Yeah, they're supposed to show up as well.
And there may be some Beta Ray Bill, maybe.
I hope so.
I would love to see that.
British Cooper says Natalie Portman is life. Did I tell you about my story how I almost met Natalie Portman? I was so mad that I missed her because she's so tiny. It's because she's tiny that I missed her. So I was at Disneyland. I'm not gonna get hired, so it doesn't matter anymore. So one of the jobs that I couldn't talk about a while ago, and maybe I did. I was operating R2-D2 at Disneyland in the Galaxy's Edge. At Star Wars Land, whatever you call it.
Operating? I thought he was just
he's a toy. He's a robot. He has a remote control. Anyway, so that was my job for a little bit before pandemic, and then pandemic ruined everything. And so my job was to drive him around. It was the coolest thing ever. And we were if you in Galaxy Edge, there's this little stairs that go up, and there's like a little wall, and around the wall there's like a seating area. Mm-hmm. I was there with R2. playing with kids and talking to kids. And I knew that Natalie Portman was in the park. And like, she's got to come to Star Wars Land. And somebody told us right after we finished that she walked up the stairs and walked directly past us, like 3 feet away. But she walked on the other side of that little wall. So as soon as she cleared the wall, you couldn't see her. She just kept walking. And I was so mad because like she totally would have stopped taking a picture with R2, and it would have been the coolest thing ever. And it didn't happen. I wish they hadn't told me. They were like, yeah, she just walked right past you guys. Fuck me.
See, when she's walking through Star Wars Land or Galaxy's Edge, she needs to have her Amidala headdress on.
I mean, I guess maybe that's what she's trying not to do. She's just like this.
Right.
It's so upsetting. I thought you were with Henson now. Doesn't that make you a Disney employee? Henson is not Disney.
No. Muppets
is Disney.
Two separate things.
And either way, any of those jobs that I do, I'm always like a contractor. I'm not technically an employee. I'm like, hired for this job, and then see you later.
So...
And if anybody cares, no, I'm not back doing R2 again.
Is that it for comic book movies?
I think so.
I think that's all the comic book movies.
Cool. Now let's talk about some other stuff that you might be interested in.
You mean there's more than just
There is
comic
more.
book
We just
movies?
need to get those out of the way.
I don't know if I want to talk about what I'm most excited for first or what I'm most excited for last.
Do like a middle one.
Well, okay, since we talked about comic book movies, let's segue into like more like family and kids movies.
Oh, wait, British Cooper says Morbius. We skipped. Oh, because we're not excited to watch that.
Did we skip Morbius? I didn't skip Morbius at all. I mean, I might skip Morbius. Yeah, I'm not excited at all for Morbius. Let's talk about Turning Red.
Oh, yes.
That looks interesting.
That looks really good.
And it's coming straight to Disney Plus. They've made the decision that, just like Luca, they're going to be putting more movies to Disney Plus without...
And it might have been kind of what they learned from Encanto, because Encanto went to the theaters.
Yeah.
People kind of watched it. I think it did okay in the movie theaters, but it really didn't make a fuzz. And as soon as it got released on Disney Plus, boof, everybody was watching it.
The whole internet blew up as soon as it hit Disney Plus. So yeah, I guess they're just cutting out that theater stage.
And it's been Pixar movies that have been going, which is sucks because Pixar movies generally are the better movies.
Yeah.
But I wonder if maybe that's the Disney thing for right now. Like if another Disney movie came out, I wonder if they would put it in theaters. But we don't have a Disney movie for a while, so I don't know. We'll never find out.
Well, there's another Disney movie on my list that I am excited for. I have to admit, Disney still makes movies that I like, even though I can't stand that company. Person who buys. But yeah, Turning Red looks a lot of fun.
It looks very good, and I like that it feels Pixar, but the animation style is a little different, and they feel like they're trying a little bit different. Not even just the art style, but the actual animation style is very anime kind of like influenced, and how mouth shapes and eye shapes and stuff and all that is being animated. It looks really cool.
Yeah. So that's one Disney movie that I'm excited for. The other Disney movie that's on my list is actually a Disney Plus original movie, but also a sequel to a movie that I already loved a lot. I can't wait for Disenchanted to finally happen.
Yeah.
Your face. You're not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I just wasn't necessarily excited about it.
Yeah.
Unless the stupid little squirrel's coming back.
I should hope so. I'm just curious what they're going to do with it. I don't think a sequel is necessary. Like if they never did it, then I'd be fine.
The story wrapped up.
Yeah, but I'm curious what else they're going to do with it and how they're going to work some of that sweet Art Nouveau animation, because the animation in that movie was some of the last like really great traditional animation that we got from Disney.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm mostly excited for it, because we might get some more animation like that.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
If we don't get animation like that in it, then I throw it in the trash.
Disenchanted is on his list.
Yeah.
And by the way, some of those movies we mentioned were also on this list. All the superhero movies.
What else is on his list?
Let's look at this.
Let's talk about Moonfall. Are you all excited for Moonfall?
Reed is. Will is definitely not. Will does not want to see Moonfall.
I want to see it with Dave, because Dave is a big like hard sci-fi fan, I think that this is going to be Roland Emmerich's try at that. I don't think it'll be successful. I think it's going to be Roland Emmerich movies are so over the top and outrageous that it probably will be entertaining to watch, but it's not going to be good. That's how I feel.
It's definitely one of those movies if you're going to go see it, go watch it at the movie theater because it's going to be fun to look at.
Yeah.
And things aren't going to explode.
But absolutely do not risk your life to go watch this movie.
Yeah,
if you don't feel safe, this is not worth it. Trust.
Rita Cooper says, Roland Emmerich makes dumb movies. I love dumb. Well...
I'm okay with dumb as long as he's not like rewriting history. Like I couldn't stand Stonewall. That one I actually have a passionate hate for. But the rest of his movies are just dumb. So, whatever. What's on your list?
Oops, I just clicked out of it. Hold on. No, that's the wrong year. I was just gonna mention one. Where did I go? Speaking of family movies, I'm really excited for Sonic 2 because I love Sonic 1, and I think Sonic 2 is just going to be... it does feel like they're just going to take what they learned from it, and they're just going to expand on it, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
They did what I think they should have done with the Super Pets thing, where they took something and gave us a perfectly good children's movie that kids can watch and have fun, but also gave the adults who never grew up and they still love the character, and then gave them that, and then gave them something that worked.
I feel like this part 2 is going to be even more for the adults that love the character.
I think so.
Like we're getting the mustache.
The mustache.
We're getting Knuckles, and Tails.
And Tails, yeah.
But I think I'm especially excited to see Knuckles because he's being voiced by Idris Elba, which I couldn't picture at first.
And then the trailer happened, I was like, yeah, that works. And they look like them. They didn't try to reinvent them. They're like, look, this is what they look like. Just put them in the real world.
They learned their lesson with trying to design Sonic in the first movie. They learned that lesson
You
hard.
don't have to. You can just make them look a little more real. Give them the fur and all that stuff, but you don't have to change their design.
Okay, another one that I'm confused about when it's actually coming out. When is this animated Super Mario Brothers movie happening?
It says 2022, but now I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was 2022, but I feel like they haven't really done anything.
Unless it's like a Christmas release, and so in the summer we'll start getting trailers or teasers. I'm super excited about it, except for the obvious.
The obvious thing is Chris Pratt.
You know what?
We're not excited about Chris Pratt.
Like, I'm excited to see him in next Guardians and stuff, because that to me, that's already been there, and I'm already used to him there. But him as Mario, unless he like pulls out some voice acting that I've never seen before, and he like gives us like, oh, it's not Chris Pratt, he's actually doing an acting thing.
I'm so worried that it's going to be the most offensive accent ever to date. I do not trust Chris Pratt with this project.
It's like, I feel like the only way he could do is, like I said, do a really good job of doing some cool Mario voice, or just be Chris Pratt and hope that he's not offensive. It's just gonna be Chris Pratt.
I feel like we're gonna get like Jared Leto House of Gucci,
and it's like,
which was very offensive.
And it's like, I don't mind that he's in the movie, but like, why is he Mario? He could have been Luigi. I think he might have been a better Luigi. Because he could have been his Chris Pratt, been stupid and let somebody be Mario.
But Chris Pratt is more big bones, so they had to cast him as Mario, which is stupid. But I don't even want him as Luigi. Like, I don't.
I still want him in the movie. The rest of the cast, I'm super excited about.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, Speech Perfect. Charlie Day's Luigi. Jack Black as Bowser. I'm actually really excited about that. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong,
the
everybody.
Rest of the cast is really good. We don't need Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's gonna ruin this. And I don't say that a lot. I don't say that a lot. It's like, this is gonna ruin this movie, because I always think it's stupid when people say that. But this one, he's literally going to ruin that movie.
He's done voice acting before, hasn't he? What was the other movie he did?
It was in the Lego movie.
Oh, right.
And he was good in that, because he just played Chris Pratt.
Yeah, that was specifically, that character was a very generic character. He wasn't supposed to be.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Mario is not generic. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
All right, let's shift over from angry things. And Rita Cooper says, my real top is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is kind of actually also on the top of my list.
Yeah, that's not my very top of the list, but that's
it's up there.
My top 5 movies that I'm excited for in the movie in the new year. Again, A24. I will claim it. I'm an A24 fanboy, and they deliver the kind of movies I really like. But now we get Michelle Yeoh and A24. Like, I think it's amazing. I cannot wait.
And a multiverse movie, and so we're already comfortable with multiverse.
And a multiverse movie.
So nobody's going to be confused. All the old people are going to be fine. I think
the old people are going to be fine.
The old people always get confused by new things. You have to say, hopefully they watch some Marvel movie. Somebody's going to explain it to them.
Well, even if they've been watching her in Discovery, I feel like if they've been watching Star Trek, they get the idea of multiple universes that can cross over. So yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah, that is definitely top. Another. Oh no, you do it. Well, I was trying to find. I hit the wrong button. There's another animated movie that's on my list that I wanted to go since we were talking about animated movies.
Okay.
It's called The Bad Guys. Have you seen the trailer for that?
No. What's The Bad Guys?
So it's finally getting an animated movie that is not just like a franchise. I think it's a completely original story as far as I could tell, but it's this group of animals that are specifically or stereotypically known to be like quote-unquote evil animals, like a big bad wolf, a snake, they're the bad guys, and they have to figure out. I think the wolf goes through this like change where he starts to see how he can be more of a good guy as opposed to a bad guy.
Yeah.
And so it's that kind of like story arc where these characters are going against the tropes they're known for, that kind of thing. Almost like a Wreck-It Ralph kind of story.
Okay.
Where Wreck-It Ralph was the villain, but he wanted to be more than a villain. But look at that. I'm glad you put the trailer up. What really sold me on this is the animation style, because the design of it and the flow of it looks really cool. And so yeah, I'm looking forward.
Has
to
like
this.
a slightly like stop motion-y.
Yeah, and I also love that it's something that's a little more original content. It's not
It's not a sequel or so.
All of the other animated movies we mentioned, except for Turning Red, have been like a sequel or a part of some other franchise. So,
and Reedy Scuba says it's actually a book, a kids' young adults graphic novel series.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this looks really cute.
Yeah,
I did not know about this.
You know what? Remember earlier when I was saying there was a trailer that I wanted to tell you about?
Oh, that's what it was.
It was this. And I couldn't remember what it was.
What's this called?
The Bad Guys.
Bad Guys. I just literally typed it up. I don't know why I immediately forgot what it was.
It's because we're on camera. We can't ever remember things on camera.
Let me look for it. Put it on my list.
So, Mitchie in the chat wants you to guess what movie she's waiting for.
I know exactly what movie she's waiting for. We're going to talk about it because I am actually kind of also waiting for this movie. Is Avatar 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
I am, how did I put it on my watch list? There it is. I'm actually kind of really excited about this movie for different reasons. I think I'm really excited for this movie because it might be good. I don't know. But I'm far more excited movie by seeing the technological advancements that James Cameron is going to drop on us.
He always does that.
It's so, if nothing else, we're going to get some crazy new technologies. We're going to get some amazing visuals. Because when the first Avatar came out, he pushed forward on realism and stuff. Now I'm wondering, we're 10 years later, what is he going to show us? What are we going to see? And I'm actually really this is absolutely movie theater movie. 3 masks, IMAX, opening night because there's gonna be a shit ton of people watching it. Oh, it's gonna be awful to try to go watch it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Giant screen or Dolby Theater. I'll take a Dolby. Anyway, I'm kind of excited to see it.
So you're more excited for the technicality of it than the story.
I'm hoping for a good story, but I'm far more excited for the visuals.
Yeah.
Bill Good says actual story. I'm hoping so.
I I think I'm with you on that. Like, I'm interested in how it will. What is this world that we're returning to 10 years later? Like, how is it being interpreted? What's happening? Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see what's going on with that jump. Mm-hmm. And also, like, this movie was supposed to come out a while ago, right?
Yeah,
and it kept getting pushed back.
Because he loves taking his time with everything.
Right, but I feel like usually if a movie is getting pushed back this far and continuously pushed back more and more and more, it kind of is like a doom and gloom thing where it's like, this movie is not going to be good because they can't figure it out. But this is a case where it's literally just James Cameron by himself creating.
Yeah.
So I feel like at least this will have some sort of artistic integrity.
Yeah.
And will be, if it's him pushing back his own work,
he's got so much power.
It's because he wants it to be perfect. And so this movie better be damn perfect.
I hope so.
I hope so.
And I do feel like it's like he writes stuff and he goes, I can't do that now. Let me take a break and make technology. And then he comes back and he goes, yep, I can do that. And then he keeps writing and then he keeps making.
Yeah.
So he does have like ultimate control of this movie. This is very much where like, it's going to be all James Cameron. And he has so much power and so much control of this movie that they're just like, yeah, let us know when you're done. We'll put it out for you and then make a bunch of money.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it is. I'm actually not sure what to expect from it because it could be anything that we don't even know yet as far as technical stuff.
I feel like either way, it's gonna be a good movie theater experience, no matter what. It's gonna be. Everybody should go see this movie. If we're not all dying. When I say anytime for the rest of the show, when I say everybody should go to the theater to watch this movie, that's acknowledging the current COVID situation and the fact that it might not, hopefully won't be there anymore.
Hopefully.
I just don't have to keep saying.
We're fingers crossing for that.
Phil Good says Avatar will be the first.
Avatar 2 will be the first Avatar, but a remix of even better effects.
Oh, there you go.
And then sell the tech to Marvel to then remix their entire catalog. Hopefully Marvel won't remix their entire catalog.
No,
but what will happen is that he'll sell the technology to Disney proper so that they can do more live action remakes of their movies. Speaking of a new interpretation of a Disney classic.
Yeah.
Del Toro's Pinocchio is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about that. Del Toro is one of those guys who also will like keep postponing his work until he's ready for it. So we don't really know if Pinocchio is going to come out this year or not.
But the live-action Disney version of Pinocchio is supposed to come out this year.
Who's directing that one?
Robert Zemeckis. So it's like a coin flip.
Yeah, that could be good or it could be bad. But I mean, not necessarily bad. I don't think any Robert Zemeckis movie is necessarily bad, but it could be good or it could be not
strange.
Good.
It could be strange.
And Robert Zemeckis, we've done a whole episode on him. Robert Zemeckis is, he's created one of my favorite movies, and then he's also done a lot of movies.
He takes
that
big chances.
Yeah. So I can see that going either way. I'm just not a fan of the Disney live-action remakes.
No.
Rita's saying also Peter Pan and Wendy is coming out with Jude Law as Captain Hook. Okay.
We'll let you know when it comes out. How do you feel about it?
Just in general, and I'm very much a hypocrite for what I'm about to say, and I'll explain why. But just in general, I'm kind of tired of classic literature movies. Like, they've been made over and over again so much that at this point it's kind of like, what else can we do with it? You know?
Let's find something else.
Peter Pan is one of those. And the reason I say I'm hypocritical is because last night I watched Tragedy of Macbeth and loved it. And it falls right into that. It's, classic literature done to death. But I think that, in some cases, I think it's always a risk to do it at this point, but in some cases the risk pays off. Those cases are very, very rare. So usually I'm not excited for seeing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same way with superhero movies too. Like anything that's the same thing over and over again, like you kind of get tired of it after a while, and you have to take a break from it, maybe come back to it, but.
Yeah, and as far as the Disney remakes, live action remakes, I feel that now it's like, I'm just going to categorically say not excited or don't want to see them until they come out, and hopefully one of them changes my mind and somebody actually does something cool. Robert Zemeckis, I feel like, has a chance to do something interesting.
Yeah.
If allowed. Because Disney might, Reach Cooper says Cyrano. I actually really want to see that. That's on my list.
Peter Dinklage?
Peter Dinklage in anything, I will watch. And Cyrano with Peter Dinklage looks really, really good. It's a little weird to me that it's a musical. Because I watched I was like, this is cool, and then they started singing. I was like, okay, that
happened to me when I watched the
trailer. That was a little jarring. So I hope the movie makes it less jarring when they start singing, because it was jarring in the trailer.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I'm really excited to see it because he's just great.
Yeah, I like Peter Dinklage.
We should invite him to be on our show. Do you think he'd come?
He's very welcome to be on the show. I would love to interview him about stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else is on your list?
One of the movies that I'm really, really excited about is The Northman.
That's the movie I was building up to.
Oh,
I wasn't ready to talk about that.
Come back.
Let's do it. Let's just jump in. The Northman is by far the movie I'm most excited about this year. It is the combination of everything that I love. I am very excited for it. Robert Eggers is a director I love. Anya Taylor-Joy I love. Actually, the entire cast I love. I'm just going to, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to go through this cast. This cast has Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, Ralph Ineson, and I'm just like skipping through. There's an entire full cast, but also this movie is going to mark the return to film for Bjork. Who notoriously was like, I'm done with movies after this asshole director put me through shit for Dancer in the Dark. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for it. And like I mentioned when we watched this trailer a few episodes ago, I'm really excited to see what Robert Eggers does with like an epic of this proportion. It's an Icelandic epic story. And, that's the only way he could have gotten Bjork to be in it. But his two previous movies, The Lighthouse and The Witch, which are movies I love, especially The Witch, far more than Lighthouse. Both of those movies were very, like, small cast, isolated into, like, one location, going through the turmoil that these people are going through in this one setting. And this movie is the complete opposite.
They're literally traveling in the trailer.
Yeah,
they're going to different places.
It's the complete opposite of that. It's this huge cast, huge, vast, traveling through locations from one location to another. I don't know what to expect from Robert Eggers telling a story like this, but I'm excited to see how he handles it. This is the top pick for me so far.
Yeah, and Phil Good says, and Bjork plays a witch. Yes,
Bjork plays a witch. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm really. I think this is probably the movie because I didn't put hierarchies into them. But if you took out all like the superhero and the like cartoony things, this is like the grown up movie that I'm most excited about because this looks really good.
Yeah, this is. Out of everything, even.
Potentially of all movies, I haven't thought about it real hard, but yes. That movie is definitely one at the top, and I'm sorry I ruined your surprise.
Let's see, what else is on my list that we have?
You excited to see Babylon?
What's Babylon? Which one is that?
From your favorite director, Damien Chazelle.
No.
Okay.
Am I don't know anything about Babylon. Tell me about it.
No, I'm not either. It's the guy who directed La La Land.
Oh, see, I don't even. That's fucked up. I didn't even remember his name. I was like, I don't know anything that you're telling me right now. Reed wants to know about Lightyear. What about Lightyear?
Lightyear.
We didn't have Lightyear on our list.
I'm excited, but I don't even know how I feel about it because I don't know. Yeah, I want to see it.
I will see it. I don't know if I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm in the same way where like
I don't know if I need not live action, but I don't know if I need a realistic Buzz Lightyear to explain the Buzz Lightyear toy to me. Like that kind of, it seems so far-fetched, just seems very gimmicky to me. So I'm kind of like, And then, to be honest, my gut reaction from seeing the trailer was he does that fist bump with the black woman astronaut, and my gut reaction was, you mean Buzz Lightyear could have been a black woman action figure this whole time? That's the character that I want to know more about. I don't really care about real Buzz Lightyear.
Like, so I do think that Pixar tries to do cool things or try interesting things. So I'm hoping that it's just not a straightforward, like, yeah, he's a hero and here's Buzz Lightyear. I'm hoping that there's something that we don't know yet that makes it bigger than just a straight out, straightforward spaceman movie.
I think what would make it exciting for me, and I think that there is like a couple of shots that hint at it in the trailer, but I would like to see what real life Zurg was like.
Yes. I hope Zurg is in the movie.
That would be exciting. But that's not, like I said, there's a couple shots in the trailer that are kind of like, it could be, but they don't really go into it, so who knows? He may or may not be in the trailer. Yeah,
Reach Cooper says, I feel like there has to be a twist. I think so. I think hopefully they're not showing us something that is going to kind of blow it out of the water.
So another movie that's on my list is Nope. Have you heard of this movie, Nope?
I just saw a thing for it, and I didn't get to see what more it was. But it's Nope. It's the Jordan Peele movie.
Yeah. So Jordan Peele's next horror movie is just titled Nope. That's all we really know about it. And there was a poster released for it that really doesn't show anything except like an ominous cloud above a city, or above a town. We really don't know much about it.
No.
But the fact that it's a Jordan Peele horror movie has me, at least interested to see what it is. There is another movie by a black director. My list just went crazy, so I'm trying to pull it back up. There's a movie called Nanny that's coming out this year by director Nikiatu Jusu. She's a director that I have watched a short film from previously. She did a short film called Suicide by Sunlight that's all about black vampires who, because of their skin color, get to walk in the daylight. Awesome short if you want to see it. But that director is doing this feature-length movie called Nanny that also is starring Anna Diop, who's a great actress. So I'm interested in that as well. I'll read the synopsis real quick. Aisha, an undocumented Senegalese immigrant, lands a job as a nanny of a wealthy Manhattan couple. While she easily wins the affection of their young daughter, Rose, she becomes a pawn in the couple's facade of a marriage. So, more dramatic stuff. I don't know if this will have horror elements like the short film did, but I'm excited to see what this director does. So, that's on my list.
British Cooper says... Oh, Michi says, plot twist, Nope is about 2020 and 2021.
Oh.
Because it's a horror.
Yeah.
It might just be like 2 hours of just news.
Oh, God.
Just when you get there, just clips of news from 2020 and 2021.
I mean, if you want to be the most horrific movie of the year, then that would do it. I don't know if I could sit through 2 hours of that, to be honest. But what is the chat saying, oh, because of Will? What is that in response to? I missed something.
I missed it too. What does it say?
Reed is asking about the black phone, which I'm not really excited about. Do you remember that trailer?
The black phone.
Ethan Hawke looking like the Babadook.
It seems interesting because it seems interesting that there's like it's like a ghost story, but there's also like a bad guy, and it might be interesting. But it's like one of those I'm like one of those where I think I need a trailer that tells me a little bit more, so I know what I'm going to. Normally I don't tell me, but this one I feel like I want a little bit more. But if it turns out to be good, then it might be really cool because it's a weird kind of a mixture of stuff. Yeah. But I'm as excited to see the movie there. No, I'll probably watch it because I'm kind of interested in it, but I'm not terribly excited about it.
I'll definitely watch it. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not though. That trailer didn't hit me in any amazing way.
One of them in here on Reeds is Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that. I could totally see Baz Luhrmann doing Elvis. Just for the record, for that, I'd be more excited for the Baz Luhrmann-ness than the Elvis-ness. I'm not really an Elvis fan, but I do like Baz Luhrmann a lot. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, that might be kind of
I've not heard anything about that.
This is a few shots from this. This is a teaser trailer.
Is it, it's a movie, not a show, right?
It's a movie, yeah.
Because the last Baz Luhrmann thing that I really got into was The Get Down, which was a Netflix show that was really cool. And I wish that had lasted longer. It only lasted for like, I think it was only a season, but it was broken into 2 parts, or either it was 2 seasons. I can't remember which. But
that's the same thing over.
Yeah. What else is there? I think that's all for my list.
Yeah. There's a bunch of other things. Let me see. Let us know if there's anything you guys wanted to see. I think we hit all the ones we're like actually excited to see.
Yeah, what else was on your list, Reed?
Jurassic World, I'm not terribly excited, just only because I haven't seen past the last couple of Jurassic Worlds. I wasn't that interested in.
One either.
I think I only saw the first one, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, it's again, it's got the Chris Pratt problem, but
and sorry.
What? No, go ahead.
I was going to interrupt you. And a severe lack of like actual Jurassic. I was really bothered by the fact that they took all the Jurassic themes out, and they just sort of did like weird little versions of them. It's like, you have a theme, like it's strong, just fucking use it. And the other themes, because this movie for me was like heavily like the music was such a big part of the original the Jurassic World Park, and then they sort of did it again, but then not really, and they weren't committing to the music. That really bothered me in the Jurassic World movies. And again, I was like, your dinosaurs just look like CG dinosaurs. You're not using any real stuff, or hardly any real things. So like, it's never that cool. Which is, I don't know, not that interested.
Is Bryce Dallas Howard in this one?
I have no idea.
I know that they added some cast members, like Wanda Dewise.
She is. Laura Dern is in it. Oh, she gets to come back. Oh no, I kind of want to see it. And Sam Neill comes back.
So it has,
and Jeff Goldblum.
It has some pros and it has some cons. Like I just learned today that Bryce Dallas Howard is chiming in favor of NFTs, which is really random. So it's like, so as far as the cast, it's like, who do I really want to look at? Who do I not want to look at? I am that petty of a person. I mean,
just don't knock NFTs if you don't understand them well. I don't understand them either.
Don't get me wrong, I will watch any movie, but there are some people that I enjoy watching more than other people. But
I didn't really not like Laura Dern last time I saw her. So
what was the last time you saw her?
For The Last Jedi.
Oh, but I think she was good in that.
No, I hated her character.
She
was good. I hated her character.
Yeah, the writing did some things.
But now that the three of them are coming back, that might be kind of interesting.
The last thing I think I saw Laura Dern in was Marriage Story. She was actually really good in that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about NFTs, do we?
No, we don't.
Because
I couldn't tell you anything about NFTs.
I think they're shitty. I'm just going to say that. But.
Yeah. Bob's Burger movie.
Is that finally happening?
Yes. It's really, they released this trailer and everything this week.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, Bob's Burger movie, I'm up for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm reached the end of... Oh, they're making a Division movie?
What's Division?
It's a video game.
Oh, you know what video game movie we didn't read?
One.
Yeah, see, Mitchie's with me. The entire idea of NFTs are ridiculous. Thank you. Yeah, we agree. We didn't talk about Uncharted.
Do we need to?
I'm not excited. I thought you might be excited.
No, I was actually avoiding
it. You.
Look, I'm going to watch it just because I'm going to watch it, but I'm not excited at all. I do not... I hope that at least it's a fun adventure movie, which it could be very well. And I like Tom Holland a lot, but it just doesn't feel like Uncharted. It feels like an adventure movie that they put label, because I don't think the cast is... If this movie had been done as a prequel to a trilogy of Uncharted, which had a cast that was older and more proper, then I would have been like, oh, this might be interesting. But it's just, I'm not interested because I don't really, they don't feel like the characters at all. Yeah. Maybe Tom Holland can pull it off, but Mark Wahlberg as Sully just does not work for me.
There's something about the characters in the game that they're at the right age, like for the story that they're trying to tell, and for both of them to be de-aged a bit for the movie, just feels so Hollywood to me. Like it doesn't. It's not necessary.
And those characters are so strong and so well developed that it just doesn't. It doesn't. No.
How unfortunate.
Not excited. Secrets of Dumbledore looks better than the other movies that they did.
I haven't seen any of the Fantastic Beasts movies. I haven't seen
they're the first ones. No, they're not they're a little terrible. They're okay. And the one girl in the movie, I think she's not in this movie. She is the worst part of this. She is bored, like the love interest for him. She is by far the least interesting person I've ever seen in a movie. She's boring, and I think she's not in this movie anymore. So I'm very glad she's not in this movie. This movie, just the trailer. The trailer looks really good in the movie. I was like, I think you're doing something interesting now. As the other two were just kind of like, they were okay.
You know, one thing that I've been wondering lately.
Yes.
I've never seen. I think Amber has already yelled at me about this. I've never seen either of the Deathly Hallow movies. I've never seen the last two Harry Potter movies. And I've been wondering, like, do I want to go back and watch them to finish off that series, or do I just not care about Harry Potter anymore?
I don't know. It's up to you, sir. Yeah. If you have the DVDs, I can lend you the DVDs.
No, they're on HBO. I can watch them easily. I can press play any moment.
I like them. I like good movies. So I kind of want to watch this Secrets of Dumbledore, but I'm not sure. But this just looks better than all the other ones. It actually looks like a real movie. Like, it has that, like, epicness of the Harry Potter movies. Because the other ones were kind of boring.
What about, Reed in the chat mentioned Top Gun finally coming out. And then I also see on this list that there's a new Mission Impossible.
There is.
So, like, what Tom Cruise stuff we get?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just trying to make small talk at this point. I don't care about any of these movies. What a shame to be a cinephile and not care about these movies.
Top Gun is coming out, supposedly. No, I never saw the first one, so I'm not really excited about this.
I was forced to watch the first one in the green room.
Oh, yeah? By who?
I'm not going to mention his name on this show. I'm not, it's going to cause drama. But someone was like, I mean, it was very... This person was like, this movie is so gay, and you're gay, so you're going to love it. So they bought it and made me watch it. And I was like, okay, yeah, this movie is pretty gay, actually. But I wasn't into it.
Mitchie says, you won't find me supporting a transphobe. No, I agree. We're with you on that. But, not a but, just not a but to that. This is another conversation. Maybe we'll have this conversation. I've been expanding the whole idea of, like, J.K. Rowling issues and how, because Amber and I had a lot of conversation, and Amber had went through the whole thing because she absolutely loved Harry Potter and finding, because we had the conversation about, like,
we should do an episode on this.
Yeah, because we had the episode talking about how to separate.
Yeah.
Can you? Should you? Will you? Could you? Yeah. And it was actually, who was it? Was it Will Wheaton? Said something specifically about Harry Potter and the movies, not just specifically the movies, and I was like, okay.
What was it?
He said something about, like, actually differently saying, like, obviously we don't like her, but, like, also saying that, like, all these movies weren't just her making them. There were so many other people that, like, worked on them and loved them and basically did everything that you felt. So you just don't necessarily have to. You're not required to drop them off the place because they're still. I think it's a little bit different than the book because the book is straight out just her.
Yeah.
But the movies are like this animal that are this much her and then this much everybody else who worked on it and did something cool that you like.
I mean, so many people, like, grew up making that franchise and then became, you know, stars out of that franchise.
Yeah. So, it's very complicated. But yeah, she wrote a book. I'm not going to read
it. We should totally do a whole episode on, like, how to handle that. Or, I mean, we already did art versus artist, but we could do, like, one specific to Harry Potter.
Because when we did that episode, the Harry Potter thing hadn't happened yet, had it?
Absolutely not, because I would have brought it up.
Yeah, we never talked about it. So we need a follow-up episode where we touch back on those things and then maybe touch back on this and just get really complicated. And then we'll follow it up with, like, a stupid show of, like, silly things.
This show silly?
Yeah, I think I've reached my end of movies that I. That's the way somebody mentioned something else. Oh well, the Nick Cage flick. Yeah.
Oh right, I want to see that.
That's it.
Yeah.
What I think I said earlier that a lot of the smaller movies we haven't seen a lot of because I think a lot of them are on hold.
Yeah.
Because they don't know when they're going to be released. So that I still don't know a lot about. There's all these smaller movies that I don't really know much about. So hopefully in the next coming months we'll be able to hear more about these other movies and see what happens with some of those.
Yeah.
And I'm back to my 2020 promise of watching more movies.
2020 promise?
Yeah.
From 2 years ago?
Well, because the pandemic ruined it. Remember, I bought my movie pass. I was ready to go watch movies all the time.
That's true.
But now I'm committing a little bit harder. I found a new way to watch movies that I think serves my busy schedule and attention span, which is literally just to sit and watch them on my iPad. Which I've forgotten how much I loved watching movies on a small screen. And most people don't. When I was in like high school and college, it was me and my laptop all the time watching, like downloading independent movies and watching them and how cool that is. So that's what I'm doing at night now. Like before I go to bed, I have a little pillow thing that holds my iPad and I sit and I watch a movie.
Yeah.
And I go, or I get half through it and I put it away and then I'll finish watching the next day. So I'm getting through. I watched like 3 movies this week.
I feel like, I want to know I want you to say what movies you watched this week, but before we get to that, I want to just like play off of you sitting and watching on your iPad because I feel like it's such a personal film viewing experience that I think like there's the big screen experience that is great. Like you want to see a lot of these movies larger than life and they're beautiful on the big screen. But there's something about watching a movie like just by yourself. With headphones in that I absolutely love.
It's like this it's like you're holding it here and you feel, I don't know, it is intimate. Yeah. It's just me by myself in the darkness.
That's how I ended up watching. Like I said, we started watching Tragedy of Macbeth last night. Dave wasn't into it, so after like 20 minutes, he went back to playing video games. And I moved from the TV. I let him play the video games on the TV, and I moved over to my computer and just watched it on my computer with my headphones in, and I had a blast with it. And I think it's something special about watching a movie that way.
I was watching. So the movies that I watched. Well, let me talk about it specifically. I've been watching. I'm like 2/3 of the way or 3/4 of the way through The Lost Daughter with Olivia Colman, which is great.
She's amazing.
But I tried to watch the last part of the movie today on the TV, and I found myself like
zoning out,
picking it up my phone, going, "Oh, who's this actor?" And like, and all the other times that I sat with my iPad and I literally was just watching it.
Yeah.
The headphones, I was able to focus better because it was me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have
it helps you put your blinders on.
Yeah. I've also found out that on my Oculus, I need to start watching more stuff on my Oculus because then I cannot look at my phone.
You literally can't.
Unfortunately, Netflix app sucks on Oculus. It's like they just made one like, here you go. So it's okay, but it's not like there's other really good apps that put you in movie theaters and do really cool stuff with it. But then you have to put in your own videos, so which then means I have to go find videos or find illegal copies, and it's just this is big. Which outside of the argument whether you should be torrenting or not, it's a hassle.
Yeah.
It's a giant. I will pay you money just to let me watch things. So I wish like Netflix and other providers would commit to that a little bit. Like to watch Disney Plus, I can watch it, but then I have to sign into the browser, sign in like I'm on a website, and it's not the greatest experience.
It still feels like I guess Oculus is so new that they haven't.
Small.
Yeah, they haven't like put money into. I mean, like Netflix and such hasn't put a lot of money into.
I think Amazon is the only one that's kind of made it kind of interesting, but. I'm hoping that as it kind of continues to grow, and I know Facebook aside, as VR stuff continues to grow, and I hopefully get more of that because I would love to do that. I like doing it. I like watching movies there.
Do you watch The Expanse?
I have not yet.
You should watch that because it's on its final season, and I would like to do a show on it when it's
How many seasons now?
I think it's. I don't remember offhand.
Is it like 13 seasons?
Oh,
or
no,
like
it's
4 or
like,
5?
It's like 5 or 6, or I think something like that.
Okay.
And they're very like once you get going, they're easy binges. Like you can get through it, but no rush.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think you would enjoy it, and I think we should do an episode on it after we both watch it.
Kenny keeps talking about it.
It's really good.
Kenny's been telling me to watch it a lot.
It's really good. There's a lot of political things in it. There's a lot of sci-fi things in it. There's a lot of really, really strong character developments, like all around. It's a good show. And the special effects are good, too. Yeah.
Cool. We'll do that. The other movies I watched this week were Free Guy, which I liked. I saw you give it 2.5 stars.
It was very. I mean, we talked about it when Jezza was on. It's a fun movie, but it's also very generic.
Yeah.
So
I gave it 3.5 stars. So it was okay. I liked it a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. And then I saw. Jesus Christ! What else did I see?
Did you log it on Letterboxd?
I did. I've been logging, and I've actually gone back to the movies that I've logged and fixed my stars because now I have a better idea of what how I want to do my stars things. Yeah. And I think it's far more aligned with how you do it now, and I feel like we're more closer to having a similar identification because I would go back and I'm gonna give, and you would have the thing that I was correcting.
Yeah. Because sometimes a movie is like, I don't know. If you really think of like a movie, what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Most movies are average by default. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Just by the definition of average. So when you get a movie that's really, really good or really, really bad, those are the ones that stand out more. But most movies are somewhere between 2.5 to 3.5 stars. Like that's average.
I watched it. Oh, Don't Look Up was the other one.
Okay, what'd you think of that?
I liked it. It was good. It was cool because I don't know if you saw my text about the.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. You watched it that way?
I watched like half of it later on because I was like doing chores and stuff. But watching Don't Look Up was so weird because it's like it was literally like watching what we've been going through the pandemic, and then you learn that he wrote this movie before the pandemic. Like when pandemic closure started happening, they were scouting for the movie. And so I got to watch on Clubhouse. They had he was there live, and so they did like a live watch along, and I watched maybe like a third of the movie that way. And he talked about how watching everything play out, it was so weird seeing his movie play out in real life. And he said it was weird because some of the things he had to rewrite because they were too much alike, like the pandemic, and other things he said he had to rewrite to make more crazy because the things that he thought were crazy were happening in real life, so he had to make it more crazy and it was really cool seeing that. So I did really enjoy this movie. It was a stressful movie to watch. It was very stressful.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting.
It hits real close to home.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, I don't think I would ever like want to watch it again, to be honest. But I thought that for what it was trying to do, it did its job well. I know it got a lot of flack online because people said it wasn't funny enough or the satire didn't work, but it's fucking hard to satirize the ridiculousness that's happening in the world right now.
And I think that was his experience. Yeah, he was trying to, but then things got more ridiculous and it became very difficult to satirize something like that because it was happening.
It's like the only thing that's really funny anymore is The Onion, and they're just like actual news now. It's not even like...
They're having to do the same thing. They have the top things ridiculous because it's happening. And the other movie that I saw was Being the Ricardos.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman's voice is so creepy sometimes because it sounded like her so much. And I was like, oh God, it sounds like her so. But it was good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Like when it started, I was like not that into it. And then as the movie kind of went on, I was like, okay, this is a good movie.
Yeah. I'm glad that movie reminded me that Nicole Kidman could act.
Yeah, she was great.
Because I'm so sick of everything that I think about Nicole Kidman being her in that gray suit walking into an AMC theater.
Oh, yes.
So sick of seeing that. She is an actress. She can do good things.
I didn't like the de-aging because she's got her work done, and then they did de-aging on top of that, and there's like half of the movie she looks very weird.
Yeah, like
and it's
plastic.
And it's those times where they bring it back where like it accentuates the fact that she's had work done. So like when they don't push it as hard. It's like, oh, she was fine.
Yeah,
she's fine. But the de-aging was a little weird. And I did really like Javier Bardem. I didn't think I was gonna like him as Ricardo.
You know who else I really liked in that was J.K. Simmons. He was
great.
In that.
Yeah. He was so good at like. He was so good. Like I liked him and disliked him so much.
Yeah.
The character, because you're like, oh, it's that guy, and he had a really good relationship with Lucy, and they seemed to respect each other. But he was also kind of a dick and a jerk, and you're like, and so he was really good at playing both of those things.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm going to call that my recommendation. Go watch Being the Ricardos on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime. If you don't, then watch something else.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with The Expanse being my recommendation for also Amazon Prime. So, Amazon Prime tonight. Like
yeah, I guess.
I love HBO. But, yeah, both of those are on Amazon Prime.
Great. So we'll be back next week. We don't have homework. Do you have homework for next week?
I have no idea.
We have an idea. We're down. We'll figure it out.
What do you guys want us to
Tell
talk
us.
about? Your homework is to give us a topic.
It's about this time that then we have the conversations about what we want to do, and then
Yeah.
it happens. It's like the first few weeks of the year is just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, HBO Peacemaker.
Yes.
That's Reed H. Cooper's recommendation. I will try to watch that because I have been wanting to watch that.
Yeah. Cool.
It's really good. So, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be back. We'll be back next Sunday. This week, next show is on Tuesday. Solon's Legacy at 7:30 p.m. Make sure you guys join back. Haley's continuing her story. And then Perception Check on Wednesday night, and then Chat Time on Tuesday. And that's going to be our schedule for a little bit as we're trying to figure this stuff out. Danny's gone for a few weeks. He's out of town. I don't know if I'm allowed to say where he is. I think he's just out of town. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. I think we're going to try. I've been doing some 3D printing and stuff, so I'll just tell you. I'm doing some 3D printing, and one of our rooms is going to get remade into more of a craft room, puppet room, buildings area. So I'm going to set it up there so I can do easier setup for streaming, so we can start doing more of that, what we promised earlier, which was to do some of the crafting and puppet building and painting streams that we thought. Well, that's my goal for this year, for the next few months. I think in the next week I'm going to start moving that whole thing. What used to be the office, what was our office room, ended up being my office with a bunch of other stuff in it. So we're gonna change it into the puppet building room because I don't need an entire room by myself. So so that's what's happening. So we'll see you guys later. Unless you have anything else.
No, I don't have anything else.
We will Cinephilia later. I did it wrong.